Today, I want to teach you about my weekly download and preparation. I think it's my key secret to high productivity and performance, also to life balance, avoiding shame and guilt, and to operating in the highest version of myself. And it starts with sitting down every Sunday for generally 45 minutes to an hour to do some reflection, planning, organization, and goal setting for the week ahead. So here's exactly what it looks like. Usually every Sunday about 3 o'clock, I'll sit down with my planner. Galen will often do the exact same thing. So we're using the same tool and the same framework. And inside the planner, there's a sheet called the weekly download and preparation, where the first thing that I do is open up my calendar from the week before. And I fill out the box that says what worked. I'm going through every meeting, every morning and evening with my family. I'm looking at my workouts, and I'm just kind of going through and counting the wins. I guide you in the Catalyst Planner to list 3 to 5 wins. What I do is fill up the entire box until there is literally no more white space. Because the truth is, there are so many wins that happen over a 7-day period. And it helps me see that, yes, I'm gaining traction, I'm gaining progress, I'm celebrating what I want to create more of. Now, immediately next to that box says what didn't work and why. And I will always find a couple things that didn't work. Maybe I stayed up late one night. Maybe I lost it and I freaked out on my kids. Maybe I showed up to something unprepared or fumbled on something or hurt somebody's feelings. I want to take ownership for what didn't work. I feel very fortunate that I've conditioned myself to look for wins, that generally the list of wins is way longer than the list of oopsies or mistakes or, not good. In one particular week here, I wrote eating French fries and seed oil, eating out Thai food, gluttony. I just felt like I was snacking and stress eating. Patience. My patience wasn't there. I had indecision. So this is personal. What didn't work? What are you striving for? Who do you want to be? What does it look like when you're on fire? And were you on fire last week? After I do that, I think about being on fire this next week. What do I need to do to feel my best in the week ahead? I often write down my bedtime, what time I'm going to go to bed, how much sleep I want to get, when and how I'm going to get my workouts. If I need to do some fun self-care, like get my nails done or go on a walk with a friend or see my mom or dad. But just thinking about what's going to make me feel my best in the week ahead sets an incredible intention before I do my planning. Because at the center of everything is you and me. I have to be my best and feel my best in order to perform in whatever I put myself up to on the calendar. After that, what I do is I review my top 3 goals from last week. I flip back to the week prior in the planner and I say, what were my top 3 goals of the week and how did I do? And I rate it on a 1 to 100% or a 0 to 100%. So one of my top 3 last week was to create my Slay with Shay agenda. I gave myself 100%. We spent 5 hours as a team building the agenda, knocking it around. Then another one I put here was with my CPA, having 2 tax strategies implemented. Well, I had the meeting with the CPA, but we didn't leave with 2 strategies to implement. So I gave myself 25% because we talked about things, but it didn't quite get there. So it's a way to do a pulse check, an accountability check on those goals. I learn a lot too. Wow, I really set some monstrous goals that weren't realistic in the 1-week period of time. Or I just completely lost focus and didn't even keep that as a priority for the week. After I've reviewed last week's top 3, I then determine what's going to be this week's top 3. Now, in the balance of that, I also have a 7-day calendar called This Week's Action Plan. It's one sheet that shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 5 a.m. down to 8 p.m. And I literally fill out every single thing on the calendar, down to my girls' horses and tutoring and volleyball, my workouts, Galen's acupuncture, all my coaching sessions and meetings, and my lunch break walk, which I'm committed to at noon every single day. Once I've put everything on this calendar, I'm able to see like what's really possible to accomplish this week. What is kind of the theme of the week? Not only that, where do I need help? Where do I need to delegate? Where do I need to ask for a family member or support to help me? I might be double booked. I might need to cancel something. So now I've like charted out what happened last week. Where can I recalibrate and feel my best? What's on the docket for this week ahead? And then what are my top 3 goals? The final thing I do to wrap up my PPC is I go fill out my Catalyst Pulse Check. This is a survey I give to my Catalyst members every single Sunday, and I ask several questions. Many of the questions stay the same every single week. I want to know how you're feeling. Are you anxious, frustrated, stuck? Are you overwhelmed? Are you feeling joy, peaceful, and present? Are you feeling calm and relaxed? I take a temperature of my community every week. And based on what's going on in the world and what's going on in the market and the balance of the rest of their answers on the survey, I can start to see patterns by certain behaviors that will create overwhelm and stress. The same goes for peace and calm. I ask, how many days this week did you do your Hot 15? Did you sit down with your planner, spend 15 minutes drawing out the map of your day on the calendar, coming up with your top 3 of the day, and setting intentions and thoughts around the meetings that you're going to enter into? Where did you make progress? What were your wins? Where did you feel stuck? So that pulse check survey generally takes me about 4 or 5 minutes because I've already done a lot of the deep dive work in the planner. And now I'm just kind of finalizing it for that pulse check survey. The last thing I do is I have a scorecard. On page 10 of the planner, in the current version, it lists up to, 15 different standards that I am tracking every single week to live the life that I want to live, okay? Some of mine are 1 45-minute workout a day, a lunch break walk every day, drinking a gallon of water every day, sleeping 7 hours and 45 minutes a day. So I've got several things that these are my standards that make me feel my best, that allow me to perform my best. And I simply just for the week mark yes or no. Did it happen for the last 7 days or not? And believe it or not, 75% of the time, I don't get a yes because I didn't do the thing 7 days in a row. But because I'm tracking it, because I'm intentional, because I re-look at it every single week, I can recalibrate and I can realign and I can make different choices so that I can continue to live the life that I want to live. And for all of you that are rainmakers and you are serious and diligent about growing your business, there's a sheet in the planner called My Weekly Scoreboard, where you look at your leads month to date. How many hot shoppers do you have month to date? How many people have moved into pre-approval status or future transaction status? And then how many total active hot shoppers do you have? This is your future paycheck, and you want to be tracking this inventory. This is an asset for you. You also want to be highly aware of, like, as you're putting together these numbers, who needs follow-up? Who might have fallen through the cracks? And then there's a scoreboard here in terms of how many deals, units, and volume are closing this month and next month. At the bottom, you can total from your daily pages how many quality conversations you had, how many live meetings you had. Sales get done from meeting to meeting to meeting, and there is nothing like a belly-to-belly or face-to-face meeting. How many new referrals did you receive? How many new deals, pre-approvals? You can track all this stuff. So every Sunday, high performers sit down and chart out their week ahead. They don't beat themselves up. They don't live in shame and guilt. They make adjustments. My husband and I have never been tighter on our partnership of who does what, when, where. We don't feel like one or the other is overburdened or overwhelmed because we're talking about the things on the calendar. We're being intentional about what we say yes to and what we say no to. We also know when it gets crazy. Like in the month of May, I went on 3 different business trips and we went on a Guild President's Club trip. Galen went away to Montana with boys for 7 days. My daughter's going to Japan on a school trip. It's a lot, But if we have meetings around the calendar, we get regrounded and centered. We talk about the key things that need to get done, and we recalibrate when we miss things or we fail, and we don't analyze our lives and our value based on a to-do list. We think about what makes us feel on fire, how do we grow, and where does it fit in the calendar. So I highly recommend you use the Catalyst Planner, and most importantly, you get that Sunday PPC in. Hope you get after the weekly download and preparation, and it changes your life like it's changed mine.